Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is a new series. I have plenty of product to review here. I'm looking at the lineup. It goes all the way to the break I'm taking it on the 9th of August. So this isn't some sort of like delaying action by any means. There is plenty of product here, but I did say at one point that I was going to start doing pick videos. My picks, top fives, top tens, whatever. So people have been asking me again recently in comment sections and also in private what I use myself. So the first video is going to be my personal top five picks. Stuff that I use that I would buy myself on, any given day. So, without further ado, a lot of people ask me, what is your everyday? My everyday is Stoker Straight. So this is number one. Now, this is a metal can. I do buy a can every once in a while to use as pocket cans. I go through enough of this that I do buy it in tubs. I get about 2 tubs a month. Okay? Then, number 2 goes to Stoker's Natural. Straight natural is my normal. Three goes to Stoker's Natural Fine Cut. 4 goes to Grizzly Dark Select. The new can design, though, is right here. And then 5, Copenhagen Long Cut. Now, obviously, I've never had a video that's only been 3 minutes long, so there's a little bit more to it than that. I'm going to explain as to why some of these are in the order they are. Now, they go from my everyday, my favorite everyday, to the last thing. Now, probably 95 times out of 100, if I am taking a dip, it is the Stoker Straight. Okay? It is something that I liked right off the bat when I first had it. I don't know how many years ago. And I have stayed with it ever since. I do like to mix it up sometimes with naturals. Not literally mix it, but have a natural to throw it off. Natural's good because the Stoker Straight is pretty darn sweet, even by straight standards. And it plays well off of something that's salty. So the Stoker's Long Cut Natural is what I would normally go to. Although I am not proficient in fine cuts, I do like the Stoker's Fine Cut. So this is 2 and 3. The problem here is that neither of these products are in my area. The closest place that has one of these products is about 45 minutes to an hour away, has cans of this. There is a store in my area that sells this, but only in tubs. I don't use naturals enough, and especially fine cut naturals, to be buying a tub. So that is 2 and 3. And they play into the number 5 slot. Now, the number 4 slot, as I said, is the Grizzly Dark Select. Now, this is the old can. It's basically a straight that has a very smoky aspect to it, sort of like Copenhagen straight. And there have been times that if I had done this top 5 personal picks, this wouldn't have been one. It would have been the Copenhagen. But as of late, as of the last 6 to 8 months, I prefer the Grizzly Dark Select. All right. It's just something. It's sort of in the same idea as my Stoker Straight, but something very different, yet still in the straight category. It's about as different from Stoker Straight as you can get, and still be using a straight. So when I want to switch it up a little bit from the Stokers, I will do this. Now I have the new can right now because this will be coming up in a review this week, a short format What Is It review. So now number 5 is Copenhagen Long Cut. The reason for this is that, as I have already said, the Stoker's Natural and the Stoker's Natural Fine Cut are not really in my area. I don't have access to them. This, however, is basically in every convenience store, gas station, supermarket. Well, supermarkets around here don't sell tobacco anymore. But Walmart, this can be found anywhere. And it is a good flavor. One that I enjoy. And I like the cut. The flavor release of what I guess Cope guys would call the mid cut of this. I like the flavor release and the nicotine kick of this. And in some ways, it actually is better than the Stoker's Long Cut Natural when it comes to flavor release and the salt being brought down a little bit. But I am a Stoker's guy, and I am very brand loyal. So I do normally go with the Long Cut Stokers first. But this, it's so easy to get a hold of here. And it is a great product. I mean, it's a really good product. All of these are really good products. So that is it for those. That's my top 5. If I had to buy something in a store, that's what I'd buy. Now somebody's going to be like, well, there's no dessert dip. I'm not really big on dessert dips. I'm not a mint guy, I'm not a wintergreen guy, and I'm not a dessert dip guy. There will be, when I do one of these top 5s, from each flavor, like one of each flavor type profile, there will be a dessert one. I'll tell you now what it is. If I had to choose, it would be Timberwolf Peach. The reason why I do not have a dessert dip incorporated into this top 5 is when it comes to dessert stuff, and I do have dessert products, they're all chews. They're Stoker's Apple Chew, Stoker's Peach Chew. I tend to lean to chew for that aspect of things. So that is why that is not incorporated here. And as I said, I am not a big wintergreen or mint guy. That said, in this series, and this is sort of acting as the opening video for this series, I'm not going to do a separate opener. I will do top 5s in my mind. There'll be a top 5 that has a straight, which you've probably already seen, a natural, which you've probably already seen, then a wintergreen, a mint, a dessert, so I guess it'll be a top 6. But there will be other top 5s of things that I think are worthy of being in a top 5 list, or top 6 list, if, whatever, that I don't necessarily use myself. But I'd be open to it. This is what I would buy naturally if I was in a store. All right? So 1 is Stoker Straight. That can be found on the playlist Series 1 Long Cut Straights. 2 is Stoker's Long Cut Natural. It can be found on the playlist Long Cut Naturals. 3, Fine Cut. It is on the Fine Cut Naturals, not to be confused with the Snuff playlist. It is on the Fine Cut Naturals. Going back to Series 1, the number 4 slot can be found in Series 1, long cut straights. And again, long cut naturals, which I cannot quite remember which series that was. It might have been Series 3. I know Winter Green was number 2. So that is that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to give a shout out, and I haven't heard back from him yet, so I have this right. I hope I have this right. I have called him out before, but I'd like to say hello and thank you again to Minnesota Piper. Do check out Berg's Dip Reviews, Dirty Pat Walsh, Wayside Lee 83, Snuff Strings, Wild Bushman. All of those can be found on my Align channels on the homepage. Also check out Real Talk Studios, No Bluff Buff, and snoozefreak.com, the channel here on YouTube. And that is that. I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves, and God bless.